I do a lot of consulting work with powerful people, and I've noticed increasing amounts of them have very poor people skills, very poor political skills. They hire the wrong person. They don't know understand how to judge a person's character.
Yeah.
And it's odd that, we live in the most sophisticated time in history with the technology that we have. And that technology, as you say, is almost making us more and more primitive,
Yeah.
less and less able to understand the people that we're dealing with. You can be brilliant, you can be the best hacker in the world, but if you don't understand people, if you don't have that skill,
Yeah.
you can throw it all out the window because you're going to offend people you don't mean to offend, and you're going to be fired, and all these other things are going to happen. So most of the time, you're not paying attention. You're not really listening to people. You have these kind of simplified images of who they are.
Yep.
You kind of project onto them your own problems. You judge people as good or bad, friendly or unfriendly,
Yep.
and you have no insight or understanding of people. And the reason is that you're not really truly interested in other people. You're mostly interested in yourself and in your own ideas. People are fascinating. People are weird. They're a lot weirder than you think they are. Even that guy who's just handing you your coffee in the morning every day, he's got issues. He's got traumas from his childhood. He's dealing with all sorts of stuff you can't even see.
Yeah.
If you could look into people's dreams, you would realize they're a lot weirder than you think.
Yeah.
People are fascinating, and I want you to change your whole way of looking at them and to start putting your mind outward instead of inward.
Yeah.
To start focusing on trying to figure out the puzzle of who these people are. So for instance, I want you to take this idea that there's a whole language that people speak that you aren't paying attention to, and that language is nonverbal, right? So, the way people smile at you, their fake smiles, the way they look at you when you first approach them, the tone in their voice, whether they're always late when they come to meet you, how they treat their children or their employees. These are all signs of who they are. And I'm trying to show you this other sort of hidden language that exists in the social realm, and it's very fascinating.
Yeah.
And once you start picking this up, once you start realizing, this woman who I'm interested in,
Yeah.
I can now realize that, she is actually attracted to me because she's giving off these signs. This person that I'm trying to persuade to invest in my film or some idea that I have, I can tell now that he is not interested at all in my idea.
Yeah.
His body language. Okay, how do I respond? How do I learn from this?
Yeah.
When you start getting that awareness, it's like the red pill in the Matrix.
Yeah.
The whole game shifts, and you start thinking on a different level. You realize, I did this wrong. I'm reading people wrong.
Yeah.
And it will radically alter how you approach looking at people. When people show you a very strong quality, like hyper-aggressive, or hyper-masculinity, or hyper-femininity, or extreme rebelliousness, and it's a little bit more than normal. It's like, this is who they are. They're really kind of pushing this out there in the world. I'm trying to tell you that reveals the opposite, that they are masking the opposite quality. So their hyper-masculinity is actually a way to disguise deep levels of insecurity within them. Like a Donald Trump type person, or someone who seems so virile,
Yeah.
is actually probably a little bit doubtful about their virility.
Yeah.
So people are hiding their weakness. So when you're a child, you're 4 or 5, you realize, I have a vulnerability in me,
Yeah.
and you don't want to show that because it's painful. So you learn to cover it up with a mask that is the exact opposite.
Yeah.
It's the best form of disguise. Don't take people's appearances for reality. They're hiding something.
Yeah.
And the more pushy, the more they present something to you, the more they're probably trying to conceal the opposite.